Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the support. If you want to show even more support, go ahead to patreon.com/partywithstrategy. Subscribe. $5 a month gets you an extra pod a week. That's double the content. 4 extra episodes a month. Only $5. In a time where we're paying more and getting less, I'm bringing back pay less and get more. Let's go, champ. Patreon.com/partywithstrategy. Show some love. Show some support. Enjoy the episode. Let's get back to it. Welcome back to the Party with Strategy podcast. Very special episode, very special guest. Some of the nicest hands in Chicago.
Oh, man.
Pause.
I mean, you know.
Formerly known as Rice the Sound Transmitter.
Oh, wow.
Currently known as Artist.
Yes.
My boy Eric G.
Hi. Man, thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, thanhanks for coming through,
Huge
bro.
honor, huge honor.
How you feeling?
Pretty good. Yeah, I'm just happy to be here, man. It's been way too long. I said this like a few minutes ago as I walked in. It's like I haven't seen you probably in like since pre-pandemic, maybe like I don't know, like 2018, 2019, whenever we recorded like that video in your room here.
Yeah, the last time you were here, this room was completely different. You were cutting it up in here. Nate Dogg was in here.
Nate Dogg. Oh, man.
We were filming shoddy slow-mo iPhone videos.
Yeah.
Now we got the 4K cam set up.
Yo, you really leveled it up.
We're
really
out
leveled
here.
It up.
Thanks to Diamond Cut. Couldn't have done it without him.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro. How you feeling? You're just coming off a work day?
Yeah.
Long work day?
I work at Oris Presents. We throw festivals and concerts, and I am the brand designer for that. And yeah, I mean, like my work's all over the city and in some, rappers' feeds and shit too. So that's kind of tight.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to talk about this graphic design game because it's gone off the rails a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, the DJ game is pretty watered down, but I feel like the graphic design game is catching up quick.
And it's funny, man. My whole career has been kind of like, well, just bring it back to the beginning. Like my career started with DJing. Been doing that for like 20 years, but like 10 years in, like I was a bio major at UIC, and I hit a breaking point. Like I was just like failing every class because I mean, I think deep down inside, I just hated it, completely hated it. And started designing, started messing with Photoshop, and it kind of just it really clicked. And as I started DJing more in the city, I was just designing my own flyers, and it kind of just spun into a thing where like other DJs would hit me up. It's like, yo, can you design a flyer for this night? Or like promoters too would like ask me to do stuff, and that's kind of like how I like networked in. So yeah, and honestly, like there was probably like a good high point of flyers, maybe like around like between 2015 and like 2018. Like I think we were like at the peak, and then Canva dropped. So and Canva is graphic designers Serato. I think Photoshop is graphic design. So like Photoshop is vinyl, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, Photoshop is vinyl.
Yeah, I think in some respects, I respect what Canva is doing to making it accessible for like the layman, but at the same time, the layman doesn't really know like design purely. So I love the fact that they give you all these like little suggested templates and like all this little preset stuff that you could just like throw on and quickly edit, because like a lot of times like promoters are just trying to just get stuff out real quickly, but that comes with its trade-offs, obviously. So yeah, I think the big issue with that is just like it's watering down everything. And you could say that about anything these days, DJing specifically. So
Facts.
like, but yeah, it's kind of wild right now.
It's wild, bro. The things that these companies, like these are multi-million-dollar restaurant companies, nightclubs, whatever. I mean, that's just the world I'm in. I'm sure it's happening in every aspect of corporate America. But like just the shit that I'm seeing that these companies are putting out, I'm like, you really are posting that on your social media feed, and you're really giving that to people to post to promote your venue. Oh,
facts. And I think what they fail to realize, like just to go off what you're saying, like that cheapens their brand, like
100%.
Like you have some like impact looking ass like flyer on your feed, and just some random girl that's not going to be at the party, drinks, bottle service, etc. And it's just like, and it just, if the quality, if you're trying to present yourself as like high quality and you just post that, it just immediately immediately like goes down for me, honestly. So
for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, I dabble in the making of my own artwork and videos and whatever it is, but like, I'm still just a DJ. I'm a DJ that does that shit. They're getting these things from self-proclaimed graphic designers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
in my case, I'm the self-proclaimed graphic designer.
but you're doing a good job. You're doing good work.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, in some respects, it bastardizes the craft of like I think I had to temper some people recently because like they were expecting stuff to be done like yesterday, and I have to tell them like, no, it needs to be, you have to tell me like 2 yesterdays ago to get it out like 2 days later at least. Because like design takes time. Like there's a lot of planning, a lot of effort, and just a lot, like you have to do a little bit of digging, like with just like with DJing too, like you're digging through music, you're trying to curate. Well, I'm trying to curate like this look to you. I'm literally curating everything for you right now in this regard. Like I'm spending like an hour or two just looking through fonts. Just an endless amount of fonts out there, and there's a lot out there. And then on top of that, styling it, and then cutting out people's press pics and putting an aesthetic on that. Like there's all kinds of factors that go into it. So it's annoying for me to hear that like we need this yesterday. And in some respects, I cut my teeth on that shit because it made me faster. But at the same time, I'm getting to an age right now where like I have to slow down too, because because at the rate I'm going, it is causing me it's causing me like a little bit of mental stress in that regard. Like, yeah. And so I think a lot of people fail to realize that there's a human element to it.
For sure.
And what Canva does is it tries to not, I want to say like undercut that, but it is it is just like making a mockery of what actual designers are doing in some respects. So there's that aspect. If you get good at Canva, you make it look good. I mean, cool, props to you, but I'm over here crafting and
it's a whole different game. It's the difference of getting a DJ who can just download a 8-bar intro edit and mix it over one chorus and just go into the next song without train wrecking, or getting a DJ who can take a whole entire room and move them wherever they want and bring them on a journey and create a masterpiece out of their entire mix.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it just like it takes time. Like takes time and practice. And like the 8-bar intro, I guess you could say Canva is the BPM supreme of design.
Right.
Now that we're on that tip, the hype intro of design.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hard work. That's just simply put.
Yeah.
And like I think there is no people want to take the easy way out and just like jump ahead 2 steps, but they don't want to do the everything in between, the goal and the beginning, basically.
Yeah. I really I mean, like as a DJ, being able to do graphic design and doing good work in that field is such a viable option for growing old and supplementing your income, because you don't want to be DJing as much. So I feel like that is definitely something, because you're already tied in with all the clubs and shit. They always need design work. If you're good, you can get all the work, because it's pretty evident that there's not a lot of great people out there. You know what I'm saying? Like the good ones really shine. So I'm always thinking about that constantly. Did you go to school at all for it?
Yeah, I went to Columbia. I mean, back in high school, I think my first real foray into art was like photography. But then like I kind of like psyched myself out thinking my parents wanted me to like go into, you know, the typical Asian route, like going to medical field, and I did it, and I was like, nah, it's not for me. But then like I was like thinking like, do I want to go back to photography? And I like was already kind of dabbling in making my own flyers at that point. So you know, I kind of like doubled down. It's like, what if I did design? And I have a few, like my brother-in-law is a fantastic designer. He kind of pushed me into it, and I hit up a few other homies like, no, you should you know, dive into it, see where it takes you. And yeah, I mean, like I started going to Columbia, and where I really cut my teeth back in that time was making flyers for my old DJ crew, Cuts on Cuts. I don't know if you remember them.
Oh, come on,
my
man.
Moppy and
Cuts
Bangles,
on Cuts.
shout outs. But yeah, man, we were streaming weekly, and
I wasn't in the Ustream, dog?
Oh.
You think I wasn't in the fucking Ustream?
Wow, yeah. And for those who don't know, we were ahead of that shit before Twitch.
Hell
so
yeah.
Way ahead of
Fuck
that
yeah.
shit.
It was you guys and Flipside were the only
Flipside
people
too,
I
yep.
saw doing Ustreams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was crazy time. Like the quality was really shitty, but honestly, like that gave us so much exposure to Chicago and even some parts of the country, like even the world to some extent. Like it cut my teeth. I actually, it was crazy. Like that time was crazy because like I got to cut my teeth not only as a designer but as a DJ too, because like at that point I've already been DJing at that point probably for like 6 years, but I think professionally at that point it was only like a couple years. So like watching Bangles and Moppy like DJ like, and kind of like learning from them, and like all the shit that I thought I knew, I didn't really know that well at that point. I was like, oh shit, they're doing it like that.
Like in terms of what? You're talking cuts, or you're
Cuts
talking
and mixing, and like when to cut, and like especially during a mix, like if you're playing live, like you just can't be scratching like when you want to. You have to do it like at the right moments.
That's the hardest part about scratching as a DJ, is not overdoing.
Yeah, holding back is the hardest part.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just like waiting for appropriate moments, if any appropriate moments. But I think that that time really tempered me in a lot of ways, and like I would spend like I was tired throughout all college because of parties, DJing, and then just designing, just trying to like hone in my craft. So I really love that time. I look fondly at that time because like it was just like me at my most optimistic and like not as jaded as the beginning of this conversation was.
Yeah.
But truthfully, like, yeah, I really do look fondly at that time because like it allowed me to, I think it gave me a clear idea of like where I wanted to take it, and it's kind of just like it's amounted to where I'm at right now. So
yeah,
shout outs to them. Truly,
yeah.
shouts to Cuts on Cuts.
Now how about AI in terms of design? Is that something that scares you? Is there like an impending doom feeling to that, or you know, some guys are like, no, I'm excited because I can utilize the AI and it can cut down this and speed up this and whatever it is, you know?
Honestly, like, so I think in the beginning, like I was like everybody else, like AI, like with AI, when like AI really started like popping off, like I got a little concerned, but I was also like, it's gonna take some time before it gets to that point. And that was probably like 5-6 years ago. 5-6 years later, it's kind of crazy right now, honestly.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I go back and forth every day because like, yeah, it's crazy, it's insane, but then I like go to use it and it like doesn't even work that well.
No, and
and I'm like, this is what's gonna take over the world.
I mean, it's still making like 8 fingers on like one hand, and you're still seeing like I don't know, like just you know, random pictures of dogs, I don't know, fighting dragons or whatever.
Yeah.
But I for me personally, like I think I've kind of embraced it.
Yeah.
Like I don't use it specifically to create my art, but I there are aspects of AI and its functionality that I use. Like Photoshop is incorporating AI into the program now, and like there's a thing called generative fill where like,
bro, when that first came out, I went crazy. All I did for hours was just taking like pictures of Einstein, like old famous photos, and like seeing what it would fill into it and shit.
Yeah, you just give it a prompt, or you don't even give it a prompt, and just see what it cooks.
Yeah.
And And honestly, there's that's probably the most practical application for it. Like you can, like I have to cut out press pics for flyers and stuff. So like if some dude's shoulder's cut off, like I'll expand it out to where his shoulder would be, and it'll make up a fake shoulder for, you know, just based on his look and appearance. Like, or it'll fuck up and just like get the wrong skin color entirely.
Put fingers on his shoulder.
Exactly. Or just like it'll like write Chinese lettering or like its idea of Chinese lettering on a shoulder. But I think it's but like when it does work, it's the shit. Like it's actually it's not bad. So
bro, there was somebody doing flyers for one of the clubs at some point, and they did like every week the club has the same residents, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's like all three of us, and then I saw all of the flyers. They sent it as like a bunch, and it was like an AI generated photo. They took our press pics and generated it, fed it through the AI, and like, bro, I was so mad. I had a backwards hat on in the picture, right? And I'm bald, obviously, but the AI gave me hair, but like thinning hair, like balding.
Yo!
Like now I'm not bald, I'm balding, right? They gave me like 15 years in age.
Damn.
And then they changed the tattoos on my arm. Like I have raw ass tattoos. Now I just got some AI generated scribble on my arm. I had a watch on, expensive watch,
right?
Turned it into a Timex. Like it just fucked my whole shit up. And they sent me this flyer to post, and I'm like, bro, I'm not posting this.
Why is this me in another dimension type
yeah,
shit?
bro. I mean, I'm like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
So and that being said though, like it still requires a level of curation, and you cannot fully rely on it. Like it's silly as fuck. And honestly, for that matter, I've never uploaded any of my photos to any of those AI apps because I'm just like afraid.
You don't want to
like,
give them your information.
That mainly for that. But
Yeah.
honestly, like I'm on social media at this point, so they're probably already like
they're scraping it all, my guy. It's all going to Russia, China. It's going everywhere.
There's probably like some deep fake porn of me somewhere I'm just like completely unaware of. So
You're scratching in it.
like, oh shit.
Yeah, bro. I remember when like actually this picture where Dolo's like 75. Remember when that app came out where it made you look like an old person?
Yeah.
And then we did it for like a video and shit. And then it came out that like it was Russia and they're stealing your face.
Dolo is in some Putin propaganda.
Yeah.
Yo, I love it. I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's like, how could something be so scary if it's goofy right now?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Every time I go to use it and it just doesn't do what I want it to
Right.
do, I'm like, it's not really that crazy. I'm not that scared of it. It makes me feel a little bit better.
I mean, we're just specifically talking for like AI and like photos, but like, I get the idea that like AI can be scary for like, you know, like jobs that are like, you know, that require manual labor and like a robot, or like, you know, just even the AI is just going to drive a bus at some point. I mean, I get that, but at the same time, yeah, good.
I'm ready for them to implement AI into the self-checkouts so I don't have to do it anymore.
Right.
I'll take that. You know what I mean? Put a little conveyor belt on that bitch. I'll just throw my shit on there.
The self checkout already fucked over those people. So like,
Yeah.
like they're already like all these grocery store workers just like they literally have to have like one person just standing there watching you do it.
Yeah.
So like, why, you know?
And I got to watch them so I can steal.
Or not pay 7 cents for. Actually, I don't even think they even care about the 7-cent bag thing.
The bag thing. Actually,
Yeah.
it's funny because if you get enough items to where it thinks that you need a bag, but you tell it you didn't get any bags, it'll be like, "Are you sure? Because you got 13 items."
Wow. They
And I'm like,
give
"Yeah,
you,
I'm sure. I don't need a bag."
They give you like the Red Dead Redemption choice,
Yeah.
like yes or no. I'm
Yeah.
like, no.
And anyone who's not from Chicago or even in the burbs that doesn't know, you get charged 7 cents
yeah.
per plastic bag that you use in this fucking city, along with like a tax on your seltzer. If you go to a bar and get a high noon, there's like a
that's right.
tax
Yeah, I
on
forgot
that.
about
You get
that.
a bottled water tax. There's like a sugar drink tax
Yep.
at 7-Eleven. This place is insane. This place is absolutely insane.
Yeah, why'd you move back, bro?
It's better than Houston.
I'm
I'll pay a bottled water tax. I'll pay all those taxes. I'll buy every bag at Target. It don't matter. It's better than Houston.
Yeah, it's man. I actually have not been to. I actually no, I haven't been to Texas in some years. I think the last time I was out there was for Austin, but yeah, I've no real like. My brother lived out there, but I have no real like touch like outside of you. Like I don't really know anybody out there, honestly.
Yeah. Texas as a whole, I definitely enjoy. Houston is the last on my list. I would go Austin, Dallas, Houston. But
well, let me take that back. I know a bunch of people. Like I know all the cutters in Austin, so shout outs to them. But yeah, for the most part,
the
yeah.
Texas Scratch League.
Yep. And like Dopez and like Swift Style, all those cats. So yeah. Enfo when he was out there, but I don't know. This is real nerd shit now at this point.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's just crazy right now. The fact that, like, I don't know what it is. Did graphic design go up are they charging people more? And that's when they were like, I'm fed up with it. These people want too much money. It used to be this much. Now they want this. I'm cutting them out.
I think that's part of it for sure. Actually, maybe a large part of it, but I think it's just. I think it was more so just a means for the layman to just like you can do it on your own if you really wanted to, but you could do it on your own means you have to put the time in.
Yeah.
Still, regardless. So, for me, like, like I've always been charging. Unless it's some homie shit, but like that's really rare now at this point. But I like that for me personally, Canva hasn't fully deterred me because I work in an industry where it requires like Canva can't do a quarter of, like what I'm doing, and I'm not just saying that. Like I'm doing like more like higher level thinking and like that.
Like what does that look like?
Like branding an entire festival.
Okay.
I've yet to see someone brand an entire festival with Canva.
And branding an entire festival starts where and ends where. Like if they throw this at you and they're like, hey, we're doing a house music fest. It's all these artists. It's all these people. We want it. What do they say? Did they give you some sort of idea? We want it to have this tropical theme or something like that.
Well, I'm like, for instance, like for ARC, like I'm working with a huge team, and like I have a creative director, and like me and him have been like collaborating. He would send me like he'll give me like a bunch of inspiration, like you know he'll send like a bunch of aesthetic like flyers of a specific aesthetic, and then I'll take that, I'll like kind of parse all that, and then take and utilize that within my direction, but put my own spin on it. I mean you could kind of do that in Canva. But like I mean you need more tools to like actually like create something like fully original, like all that stuff is already kind of pre-done, and like they probably have like designers on Canva. I mean I might be a little ignorant on that part specifically, but as far as I can tell they have like other designers creating like a lot of the elements for Canva. I have to create those elements on my own,
right? Yeah.
And that requires a level of like curation on my end to like get it to what they want. So yeah, it's as I said, it's cool, it makes it accessible, but I don't think it's at a point where it could take like it could you do something that high level. So
and when it comes to doing all of the design for a festival like that, what are you designing other than the flyer? I'm sure there's all sorts of other shit, man. Right?
Yeah, I'm doing I have to do the signage. I have to prepare merch for that. I have to prepare a map. I have to prepare a lot of design, like a lot of the on-site stuff, basically, like wristbands, like credentials and stuff. So
see, that's the shit I would never even think that you were doing.
Oh yeah, I do it all. Like, and if I'm not doing it all, I'll do one version of it, and then we'll have another designer like do the rest, like anything like minute where like requires just like plug it, like they just got to plug in this info, do that, but I'll do the template for that, and then they'll do the rest. So yeah, it's a lot of work, and like it's like I mean ARC's about what's it, like 4 months away, so, and we started this probably back in like October, so it's like a year's worth of work.
Holy smokes. What's the largest, in terms of size, like a billboard or something, what's the largest piece of work that you've seen of your stuff physically?
Oh man, like I've done like so. Oh yeah, on top of that, I have to do scrim for a stage, which is like a big old like canvas that goes over like it's basically just like you'll see anytime you see like designs like on a festival stage, like I would have to create that sometimes. So I definitely do. I did one for Spring Awakening for one of the main stages. Like that was a fucking like 70,000 pixel file,
Holy
which is like,
shit.
which you can imagine like my computer just like chugging, and I have to like create like art within that dimension. So yeah, it can get I think that was probably some of the biggest I've seen it. I've had a billboard one time that was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean honestly, like yeah, I think that it was just that stage. Honestly, that might have been it. Yeah,
That's so lit.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's definitely something I feel like that's like a key element that a lot of these places are missing is one person who can do all of their work so it's all cohesive. And like even if you look at something and you don't necessarily know what it's advertising in terms of the day or the night or the specials or whatever, you know what place it's from because this one person is curating everything that you put out to fit that brand.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. And like I mean, there's usually like for me specifically, I'm like it's me and like two other designers right now, or one other designer right now, but we're gonna get a few other people in our team pretty soon. But a large part of that work is specifically from me, and like I'm working with like my marketing director, my creative director, and we're just kind of churning out all this work. But that they know but they're putting their trust in me to just like put your stank on it basically.
Yeah.
And just make us look good. So I'm like, all right, bet, done, easy. So I've been doing it for so long that it's I know it's a lot of hard work, but I'm not nervous about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like for some gigs, like even some like DJ gigs could be like that too. Like I know for a fact that I might play a room like full of 1,000 people, but like I'm gonna fuck them up though, because I know I have this experience behind it now. So if you talked to me like 10 years ago, I definitely would have been nervous.
Yeah.
And there's probably like a little part of my brain where like it does get like a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like at the very beginning, I'm like, damn, are you sure about that, dude? But honestly, yeah, like I'm glad that they're putting their trust in me. I'm almost honored at this point because like I think the biggest thing, would you say as a DJ, like the best feeling is when you can just do the entire night without any input, but just the only input is just coming from you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think that's where that's kind of like where how I feel about design now. Like they're allowing me to like cook.
That's
and
awesome.
they might chime in here and there, but it's like it's not to a point where like I have to like rip apart everything and just start all over from scratch. So
yeah, that's super dope. Yeah, I feel what you're saying about like, you've been DJing for so long now that it's like you could wreck any room. It doesn't matter. You have all the experience. But then there's just some nights, for me at least, where like, I got a DJ at 10, maybe till 2, maybe it's a 4-hour set. I'm doing the whole night. And it's like 8 p.m. I'm in my kitchen pacing around thinking about what I'm going to play. And I start fucking myself up in my head. And I'm like, is there even enough music for me to play for 4 hours straight? Like 4 hours straight is a long time. How am I even going to play that many songs? What do I play? I don't even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then once you get there and you're like, yeah, I fucking done this a million times.
Right. No, and that imposter syndrome is real. Like it is really real. Like I don't want to minimize that, first of all, because like I played Concord last month. Like it was sold out. It was like 1,200 people, and I think at first I was nervous because like I was just like, damn, they gave me 2.5 hours to open up for Austin Mills. Like, what do I do? And like they didn't give me a do not playlist or anything of that. So I'm like, okay, cool. So that gives me enough, freedom to, stretch my legs and do what I want. And I was like, but even then I was like, the what scared me the most was the possibilities. The amount of possibilities I could take it.
That fucks you up.
Yeah, and it's just like you start to overthink it, and you start overthinking like, well, you know, like the crowd will like this, but what if I took them there? But like, what if they don't like that? What if I took them there? But then it's just like, damn, dude, you're just like, am I really cut out for this? Like that type shit. Yeah. And then as soon as you get there, you plug in, and you know, like you kind of just breathe and like look down and like, oh shit, I have no choice but to do this now. So
what'd you start with?
Well, all right. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the human soul. It'll usually show when the truth ain't told. Use a lie.